let me take this across to Chetan Bhagat. Author, again, someone extremely successful. Chetan, in fact, joined us about 15 minutes ago. He's right now on a flight. He's joined us from the Jaipur airport. You're busy, clearly hustling, Chetan. But tell us, what do you have to say about Mr. Murthy's comment? I saw your tweet where you said that, if you work for 35 hours, that's fine. Make it count. So then are you suggesting that, it doesn't matter how many hours you put in? At the end of the day, the comment that comes in from the likes of Mr. Mohandas Pai is that what defines success is hard work. You're working hard.
I think hard work is definitely important, Akshata, but to equate hard work in terms of hours, firstly, maybe not the perfect way to do it, you know. So it doesn't mean that the more hours is directly related to. So in the first tweet that you mentioned, when I said that you can work 35 hours too, but if you do it with full focus and you are actually making every minute count, you can achieve a lot in 7 hours a day, 5 days a week. I mean, that's a lot of time. But what I found, at least I've worked in offices, I've worked in banking for more than a decade. A lot of people spend a lot of time, but they're just chilling or they're just waiting for some, printout, or they're just doing some meetings. Meetings work? I don't think so. Most meetings are useless in companies. So I think a lot of time is spent, and then someone can say, "I'm working damn hard. Why am I not seeing progress?" So I just wanted to emphasize to people that make the hours count,
Okay.
and then it can be less than 70 also.
The counter to what you've said, Chetan, is how do you then define hard work, especially for a fresher in the industry, someone who wants to prove himself or herself? How else can they do it but by putting in the hours, by proving that they're sincere, they're determined, and are willing to work hard, put in the hours?
Well, Akshata, I love Mohandas Pai, and I love Narayan Murthy sir also. And who I love more than Narayan Murthy sir? Sudha Murthy ma'am, because she's a writer and she has interviewed me, and I know and they know that how much I respect them, and they are one of the finest human beings out there. The problem is, and I'm sure they didn't mean it this way, but when somebody who is a very wealthy entrepreneur, or like basically what you will call a capitalist, says this, that I expect employees to work so much, it it's different from you saying it, Akshita, who is working
Sure.
in a job in India Today TV. You say it's your view, and you can give 70 hours, you can say 30 hours, you can say 90 hours. It's different. It's just Akshita's view. But when they say it, it's different, because they are basically saying this is what we expect our employees to do, and therefore we are the company owners of India, and we expect employees to do this, and therefore all the other company owners of India, that's the minimum standard. And then it could come across as like, okay, they are the ones getting all the equity gains. If people work harder, they're just like labor, and they just want the people to get more and more value out of
Yeah.
them by making them work longer. So I think it's the messenger here, with all respect to them. But on this topic, I think what the profile is of the messenger matters.
But then, do you think that this is just essentially a generational difference? You've spoken, interact often with Mr. Murthy, with Sudha ma'am, with Mr. Mohandas Pai. That's a generation that put in all of that hard work. They believed in nothing but work, sacrificing whatever it took for ensuring that they were successful at the workplace. You interact with a lot of Gen Z as well. Do you think that the attitude then has changed, and that's why there's such a big debate over this, that the Gen Z perhaps doesn't focus as much on work, they believe in that active work-life balance?
Yeah. Okay. So firstly, Gen Z, and I'm not Gen Z. And actually, I have two boys who are Gen Z.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you very frankly, yes, this tendency exists, that work-life balance. So firstly, the Gen Z people should know that the fact that they have a life today, that they can talk about work-life balance, it's because the generations before them worked so hard to give them a life of privilege, that today they have that privilege. Yeah, I should have work-life balance, because you know what? You don't have to worry about where the food is going to come from anymore. But there was a time when your parents were growing up, your grandparents were growing up, that you have to work hard just to put food on the table. So I think it's a different India now. It's a different generation that talks like this. So I understand that. So you don't need to bring down the older generation. Same way, we don't need to bring down the younger generation by calling them lazy. I don't think it's lazy, but I do think Narayan Murthy sir has some point. Obviously, granularity is lost in a statement like work 70 hours a week. And like I said, since he's seen as the big company owner, capitalist, entrepreneur, it's going to be taken differently when he says it. But it is, you should, in your formative years, work hard. I do believe.
Yeah.
I would say work 100 hours a week if you want. But it should not be at your office, at your job. Work on yourself, which means your health, your friends, your sleep. To me, it's hard work for me to get my sleep right. But get 8 hours of sleep is difficult. I have to plan my day, I have to sleep early, give up parties sometimes, whatever it is. So that's also part of it. So work on your whole entire life and have a strategic plan. If you think that I'm just going to be an employee in one office and I'll work and stay at work longer than other people and I'll have a great career, that's not going to happen. So I do believe in working hard. And if you think that you're going to just do a job which is work-life balance, then I think what could happen is boredom. You get very bored in a job that doesn't have
Yeah.
challenge. You get very bored if you work very little. And I think there are many reasons why young generation says work-life balance. I think some of it is they are very keen to avoid anxiety. If you honestly ask me, that oh my god, I don't want to work hard. It makes me feel anxious. It makes me feel. So I
Correct.
don't think that approach is also right. I am with Narayan Moti sir on that. That you need to work hard, but not just in office. In your whole life, life is hard, man. If you think there is a life on easy mode, which is a happy life,
No, you're right.
you're mistaken.
You're right in saying that. But Chetan, my final question to you, and we asked this to Mr. Pai as well. As a successful person, what kind of work did you put in as someone when you were young or now? Do you put in 70 hours of work or more?
So there is a Chetan Bhagat who was 20, now I'm 49. It's different. I have to tell myself that I can now start thinking about work life balance. I think
Yeah.
I'm entitled to think about it. And I still get into the workaholic
Yeah.
mode sometimes. And right now, I did a motivational talk in Jaipur. I'm speaking to you from Jaipur airport. I was in Dubai for something else. I came on the red eye on the night flight, which landed at 5 a.m. I went to the hotel. I went to the gym first. I worked out. Then I gave my talk, and I'm back because I'll take the flight back to Dubai because it's my wife's 50th
It's
birthday there.
insane.
So I have to be there. So I'm still working, but at the same time, I also tell myself to take breaks, and I can do that. But in my early years, I would say I would work pretty hard. 8 to 10 hours a day is pretty hard. That's a lot of work,
It is.
8 to 10 hours a day consistently. Problem is people work one day very hard and then they don't. Or so I don't think you need 70. I mean, but that's just a discussion. I think 50 is also okay. But
Sure.
like really like do the work at the time of work. Don't check Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever time pass you're
Okay.
doing.
Full commitment. How many hours you put in? Interesting view that, Chetan. Just wanted to make one comment, which is that in the conversation and what you just said, it sounds like a lot of work. It doesn't sound really like
The
any
one
sort
last
of
point,
work-life balance. Yeah.
it depends on how your mind and you actually approach that work. And that's why all this talk of passion and three idiots and all those things about like follow your passion. Because if it is your passion, it doesn't seem like work. You have to pull people out of work. Yeah, people have to like yank me out of work. I have to tell myself, stop working because I love it so much. That is an amazing state to be, right? Isn't that a great work life balance where your work is more fun than
Sure.
even your life? If it actually is fun, think about it. If the moment you say work life balance, you're saying work is something to be avoided. But what if work gives you as much joy or even more joy than life? Then what? And that's the thing. And I've been on both sides. I've been in a bank where my work was not that. And now my work, yeah, I like motivating people, I like writing books. And but at the same time, I understand I have a body, I have to sleep, I have to rest, I need friends, I have family, I have to be there for them. So that's all there. But I don't know, it's all just life.
No, but
What is work and what is life? Is work not life? And is life
I
not
think
work?
you're right in saying that if you enjoy your work, it's no longer a debate about how many hours you have to put in.